And here we go. We are in the offseason of year number 2 with your Rimouski Oceanic. This year was not a good one as we only just made it into the first round once again, got kicked out in 5 games, and we are, as we see, losing quite a bit of our roster, including our captain Boudreau, Langlaw, Koslik, Drover, Berube, Goyer. Yeah, this offseason is going to be quite an active one. And here's our final season score. We had 2 categories, meaning our total season score equals up to 20. Our total career score is at 48. We have 4 points to spend. We'll just evenly distribute it between all the GM ratings. Well, this is unfortunate. Look at how many players were released. This is just, wow. Out of all of these players, I was only able to re-sign 4 of them. Every other player is ineligible to return. Alexander Gaudio, Thomas LaChapelle, Frederic Brunet, and Vasily Shumilov were the only players we were able to re-sign out of the several players that were released. Dumoulin, Blagden, Drover, Hins, Langlaw, Berube, Goyer, Gaudet, Dow, Maltai, Boudreau, and Koslik are all too old. And Zachary Cardinal as well. He was sent down to Quebec Junior B halfway through the season, and he is, once again, he's too old. And let's take a look at our roster now. So we have in goal, Beijing and Richardson. Definitely need an upgrade in goal. On defense, we have 4 total players. We have Coty, LaChapelle, Brunet, and Shumilov. So it's a good thing Shumilov was able to come back because he was definitely our best defenseman last year as far as offense goes. And then forward-wise, you have Bourget, and we'll see if he's drafted soon because I believe the NHL entry draft takes place on July 7th, if I'm not mistaken, in this game. So we'll see shortly if he's picked, and if he is, hopefully he's not signed right away because we are going to need Bourget at least for this upcoming season if we want to have any kind of success. I'm thinking Jacob Matthew as well. We have Lefebvre, we have Tremblay, we have Gaudio, Grenier, Karen, Pierce, and Lagasse. So Leland Pierce and Jonathan Lagasse making their QMJHL debuts this season, it's looking like. I mean, they're only 1.5-star abilities, but they are 17. I would like to see them make some progress, and I'm hoping that by playing in the QMJHL now, that they'll be able to grow faster than what they have in the Quebec Junior B League. And their stats in the Quebec Junior B League haven't been terrible. 40 points in 43 games last year for Leland Pierce. And for Jonathan Lagasse, he had 38 points in 46 games with a 68 grade. But I'm hoping that they're going to be able to produce at least a little bit at the QMJHL level because we are desperately going to need them to grow pretty quickly this season. And obviously, we do need quite a few players. So I'm going to go after at least 1 goaltender, probably 2, to be honest. Defensemen, we need at least 4. And forward-wise, that is 9 that we currently have. We need at least 5 forwards. So 5 forwards, 4 defensemen, and 2 goalies probably. Yep, we have a long to-do list this offseason. All right, so this is by far the best goalie on the market, Nicholas Sheehan. He's 19 years of age, so unfortunately it looks like we're only going to get 1 year out of him. With Moncton last year, he had 22 wins and 14 losses and an .888 save percentage. So unfortunately, that's not looking too great, but he is, like I said, by far the best ability on the market. And if he can live up to that ability, then it might end up working out for us. And it's not like many of these other options are much better anyway with their save percentage. I mean, this guy had a .896 last year. Blackburn had a .897. And then this guy, whose last name is very long, Boissonneau, he only played 1 game in the QMJHL last year and didn't even have a save percentage. So I would say Sheehan is definitely our best bet. So we're going to go after him. And like I said, I do want 2 goaltenders. So I think we'll just go after one of these guys. I think it'll be Adam Tax. I'm not sure which one is silent there. There's definitely a silent letter in there. I don't know if it's the K or the T, but nonetheless, we are going to be signing him. Yeah, so there you go. Tax is actually a 4-star ability with a 5-star potential, and Sheehan is a 3.5-star ability with a 4.5-star potential. So hopefully these guys are pretty good. I mean, obviously we won't know until we see them in the simulation. Obviously last season we didn't have the greatest defense, so it's kind of up in the air as to whether or not they will succeed here, but we did need a couple of goaltenders regardless, so taking whatever I can get. For our defensive core, I've signed Alexander Tessier. He is 19 years of age. He played last season with Halifax. He had 24 points in 68 games played and a 64 grade. We have also signed Igor Not even trying that one. Yeah, he had 28 points in 68 games played last year with Victoriaville and a 61 grade. And then we have also signed David Saunders. He played last season with St. John. He had 16 points in 51 games played at a 56 grade. His ratings aren't too impressive, but I figure since he played with St. John, may as well get some championship experience on the team. So that puts us at 7 defensemen. I'm hoping that we can get another defenseman out of the import draft similar to Shumilov, like we did last year, so that would be 8 if that happens. And now forward, I have signed Sam Archibald, who is 19. Most of these guys are 19 who we've signed out of free agency. He played with Victoriaville last year, 31 points in 64 games played and a 62 grade. He's pretty solid defensively with a positioning at 14, faceoffs at 12. Matthew McDonald, also 19, solid with screening at 14, defensive reads at 13. Defensive ratings were a big decider in signing these players. He was with Cape Breton last year with 13 points in 67 games played and a 56 grade. So I don't know how he's going to be defensively actually in the simulation, but his defensive ratings do look pretty solid. So, and Alexis Cournoyer, who is 19, once again, pretty solid defensively with a 14 defensive read. Career stats with Drummondville last year, he had 26 points in 65 games played and a 62 grade. We have also signed Mathis Poulin. And career stats last year, he was with the Drakkar. He was actually an alternate captain, and he had 47 points in 68 games played with a 63 grade. And we have signed Emile Lambert as well. Last year, he was with the Titans. He had 30 points in 68 games played and a 57 grade. And like I said, hopefully we can get another defenseman out of the import draft this year, because there weren't too many defensemen that I was interested in free agency, but there were plenty of forwards, so we are definitely set at forward. But like I said, we do need one more defenseman in there, I think. And actually, one player who I forgot to mention, who was not a free agent signing, but rather just a signing, he was a prospect. He was in our prospect pool. David Mattis. He's 19 years of age. He's pretty solid all around, it looks like. 14 screening, 14 getting open, 14 shooting accuracy, 14 defensive read, 13 positioning. Looks like he could be a solid two-way forward. Last year, he played in the German league with Wolfsburg. He had 36 points in 40 games played and a 62 grade. So that all being done, I think we're going to move ahead to the QMJHL entry draft. And we are now in the draft. We have the 3rd, 6th, and 9th overall picks for the first round this year. So getting quite the selection here. And it looks like the best player available is Thomas Boudreau. He's already a 1-star talent as a 15-year-old. So he's looking pretty solid. If he by chance drops to 3, we're definitely taking him. I mean, that's appears to be quite a rarity here in the QMJHL entry draft because he's the only 1-star ability available. He's ranked at number 2. I don't know how likely it is. I mean, I think personally that he'll go number 1. That's just what I would do. I would take him first overall for sure. But I guess we'll see what happens here. So, who will go first in the QMJHL entry draft? That will be Sean Wozniacki. Sean Wozniacki to Chicoutimi. They get themselves a goaltender who is 15 years old. Last year, he had a .915 save percentage in 2 games with the Newfoundland midget team. We don't really have anything on him besides the fact that he's a half-star ability and a 3.5-star potential. I wouldn't have done that, but I guess that's what Chicoutimi needs. But you know what? Whatever. It's not my decision to be made. So, and you know what? That's one more chance that we have at potentially getting Thomas Boudreau, who looks pretty good. All right. Who goes second? That would be Keegan Boutan. Goes to Sherbrooke Phoenix. Let's take a look at him. All right, so he is a 5-star potential, but a half-star ability, and we have no ratings on him. He was also with the Newfoundland midget team at 68 grade, 34 points. He looks solid, but not as solid as Thomas Boudreau does. Yeah, I think we have to take him. I mean, he is by far the best player available in this draft. There's no one else who compares to him. Yeah, no one else even comes close. Thomas Boudreau, welcome to Rimouski. All right, I'm saving that right now, just in case the game freezes up on me. There you go, Thomas Boudreau, welcome to the team. He honestly looks really good. He could be ready to go within a year. He really could be, if he gets the right growth. Team player's a bit low, unfortunately. But everything else, he could be very well ready to go within a year. Maybe even at some point this year. I'm shocked he fell to 3. I am very shocked that he fell to 3. I can't believe we got him. 15 puck handling at 15 years old. And let's not forget, we also have the 6th and 9th picks in this draft as well. So, well, we're getting potentially 3 franchise-changing players here, all in the same draft. So let's simulate up to pick number 6. And John Duane and Elliot Flamond go 4th and 5th overall, respectively. Plenty of 5-star potential players available here, although unfortunately all of them are half-star ability, but what can you do? We already got seemingly the gem of this crop of prospects in Thomas Boudreau, so I can't really complain. Are Kevin Gauthier and Lucas Gauthier brothers? That'd be kind of cool if we could get both of them. I mean, they were both born in Quebec. They weren't born in the same city, but I mean, still, they got the same last name and they're the same age, so they could be related. Gauthier is an offensive defenseman too. I mean, we do have Shumalov, but he's 19, so by the time he's moved on, Gauthier could take his place. What about Lucas Gauthier? He's an offensive defenseman as well. Then there's Joey Durand as well. He's a two-way defenseman, definitely more focused on defense, but I don't like that team player rating. If we're going to have someone with a low team player rating, I want it to be someone like Boudreau. And Lucas Gauthier's team player rating is at an 8. And as for Kevin Gauthier, his is at a 7. So, I mean, obviously not ideal, but they're better than Durand as far as the team player rating. What about Jason Boudreau? He's 15, so he has more development time in there. But he's unfortunately, he's looking kind of rough. That's going to take a while. Zach Ang is also 15. I mean, for a 15-year-old, he's solid. I just don't want to, I don't want to overflow on wingers here because I do feel like we've taken quite a fair share of wingers in the draft recently. I mean, with not only with Thomas Boudreau, but with Leland Pierce and Jonathan Lagacé. I do feel like we're stacking up on forward prospects now, so I feel like we should get some defensemen, in which case that would be either Lucas Gauthier or Kevin Gauthier, or both, but Zach Ang is looking pretty solid. I think between Kevin and Lucas, I would go Lucas, because he's got the better defensive read at 12 compared to Kevin's 8, and it looks like he's also slightly better with the offensive attributes as well. Actually, Kevin's a better passer, but still, Lucas is better defensively for sure. He has a 13 determination. He's better with the mental ratings, I believe, overall. Kevin has better temperament and professionalism, but Lucas is better all around sort of thing. Physically, Kevin's better, I think. Now the question is, do I want to take the Gauthier brothers on defense, or do I want to take one of the Gauthier brothers and take Zach Ang as well? Let's see. Where would Lucas Gauthier go? He's projected to be picked at 5, so if we want to pick him, we have to take him now. And Kevin projected to go at 16. Okay, so we can probably pick him up later, presuming that the mock draft is actually correct. And Zach Ang, 47. Okay, so we're definitely taking Lucas Gauthier here then. And then with our next pick, we could take Ang. And then with our second round pick, we could take Kevin Gauthier. So Lucas Gauthier, welcome to Rimouski. All right, who's going 7th? We have Elfar Lalonde. With the 8th pick, you have Joey Durand. So Ang and Gauthier are still on the board. Yeah, I think we'll take Zach Ang here, especially considering he's only 15. I mean, Jason Boudreau is only 15 as well, but that's going to be a project. He's going to take a while. There's no rating besides ratings in his mental category that really jumps out at me. And that's not the case with Ang, though. Ang has 12 offensive read, 12 shooting accuracy, and then Kevin Gauthier as well to a lesser extent. So I think, yeah, we'll take Zach Ang here, and then hopefully Kevin Gauthier is available with our next pick. So Zach Ang, welcome to Rimouski. So our next pick, our second round pick is at number 27. So we just have to hope that Gauthier falls to there. And we should be good to go to take the other Gauthier. So pick until human. And is he still there? Doesn't look like it. Yep, he went number 22 to Gatineau. That's unfortunate. So we didn't get to take the Gauthier brothers. But I do believe that we got the two better players in Lucas Gauthier and in Zach Ang. Not to mention Thomas Boudreau as well. So I'm pretty satisfied with that first round. And here in the second round, there is Francois Roy. We have no ratings on him. And we don't have a scouted potential or ability on him either. But the consensus on him is that he's a half-star ability, 5-star potential. He was projected to be picked 3rd. Are you kidding me? Okay, I mean, that's good of a reason as any to take him this late, I suppose. Wow, how did he drop this low? I don't see why not. I mean, that's, yeah, I don't think there's any debating that. Francois Roy, welcome to Rimouski. And with that, we now skip ahead to the 6th round. So let's see who's available by then. And it looks like not much, unfortunately. So I think as a result, we're just going to skip ahead the rest of the draft. We're going to let the assistant finish the draft, and we're going to go ahead to I believe the American draft is next. All right, so now I guess we'll sign our prospects. Zach Ang, Lucas Gauthier, and Francois Roy, as well as Thomas Boudreau. All right, here we go. Time for the American draft. Let's see who is on the board by the time we pick. Okay, we got a 3-star potential in there, and Tim Miller, he's 15. No anything on him really besides stats over 2 games in high school, but he had a 938 save percentage. So I mean, it's not like there's really much else to go on for goaltenders anyway, because it seems most of them only play a handful of games. And he has the 3-star potential, and he's 15, so that's good enough of a reason for me to pick him. So welcome to the team, Tim Miller. And with that, the rest of the players in the draft are now half-star potential, half-star abilities, so we may as well just have the assistant finisher draft. And here we go, time for the import draft. This is where we could really get a good player, if we're going based off last year's draft anyway. This year, it doesn't look like it's as deep, unfortunately. It doesn't look like we're picking until 27, so that's a bit unfortunate. Hopefully there's still a good player available by then. All right, so I came across this guy, Evgeny Stoyarenko. He is a half-star ability and a 5-star potential according to the consensus. Now, what gives me hope about him is that he has some pretty high roll ratings in there. 18 for a two-way defenseman, 17 for mobile defenseman. Whereas you take a look at someone like Isaac Forsberg, who is, I believe, a center. Yeah, he only has, 7s, 8s, 9s. There's an 11 in there as well with counterattacking forward. I'm presuming that means he's not as good as someone like Stoyarenko. I mean, I know comparing forwards and defensemen isn't exactly, ideal, but if we're going based off role ratings, then Stoyarenko, I think, will be better as far as his readiness for the QMJHL. We're going to take Yevgeny Stoyarenko and hope that he is a solid defenseman. Welcome to Rimouski. And on to our second round pick now. I like Konstantin Polyansky. He's got some mid, 13s, 11s in there in his role ratings. And his career stats, he had 18 points last year in 27 games with the Ontario Junior C. And he had a 65 grade. So I'm hoping that 65 grade means that he was pretty solid defensively. So we'll pick Polyansky with our second round pick in the import draft. And there you go. The import draft has concluded. So let's sign Stoyarenko. Hopefully he wants to sign. Nope. Cool. All right. How about Polyansky? Nope. Too many foreigners on the active roster. Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway if we were able to sign Stoyarenko or not. Yeah, we already have 2 foreigners in Matis and Shumalov. So, yeah, I guess this is our roster. Or, well, it's going to need to be trimmed before the start of the season because we have 28 right now. But, yeah, this is basically what we're going with going into the season. So with all that being done, I think we're going to end this one off here. And in the next one, we'll get to the start of year number 3 with your Rimouski Oceanic. And hopefully we could have a better season than the one we just had. And I would like to obviously win the championship as soon as we can so we can move on to the next league. So remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we start year number 3.